What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Josh with RC Road Rash, and you guessed it, we are back at it again with another repair video. Let's get it. You have this happen. You break it down, you take a look, you realize, oh, this gear that comes off the little motor, that's not too bad. Even taking a look at the spur gear, this isn't too bad. Then you look over at the input gear that came out. I'll put a reference to the short up here in the corner. You can see how to get to this point. But here's the input gear that I pulled out. Then you have your stock diff. That's what came out of there. You can see some of those gears too. Some of those are kind of shredded a little bit. Once you break it down, you find out what's wrong, what's the culprit. It's your rear diff. All right, cool. So let's order a new one. The part number is going to be 16402Y. That is going to be one of the upgraded versions of the diff. I opened it up and I put some 7,000 of some diff fluid inside of it. If you do a little bit of research really quickly, you can find out what's the weight, what you want to go with. But I hear 7,000 is a pretty good. It's not too light and it's not too heavy, but it's good for like off-roading and all-terrain kind of stuff. That's what I have in there. You pop these 4 screws out really quick. That's all you need. Just one little Phillips and a bunch of wrist power, and you get this knocked out. But you pop those 4 screws out, you can take this top cap off and you just look inside of it. I put about 3 or 4 drops, just enough. I rolled it around a little bit, got it nice and lubed. Sounds good. So, your rear diff, it's gonna come with an input gear. The problem is the stock spur gear. Has a weird kind of cross shape that's boxed off. It's very jagged, very sharp. The input gear is round. Does not fit, does not go through. And since this does not fit and it does not go through, I can show you just the dilemma you're in. Just give me a second. Promise I've done this before. So this is what it looks like. I don't have the drive shaft inside of it, but it's okay. But that's what it looks like. This needs to fit exactly how it does, so your input gear will catch onto your diff. It cannot sit this way because the new input gear is rounded on the outside. It will not go into this kind of design. And you also have a plate that runs directly in the middle of it. Now your input gear won't fit, at least your new one. So then you can go on a wild goose hunt search and you can look all over the world and Amazon and eBay and all of these people, and you will not find an individual input gear sold by itself. What you will find is a new spur gear that comes with an input gear. And that part number is 16401Y. So you have 16402Y and 16401Y. These two together will give you a completely usable kit, or at least usable set of gears. Now, your new spur gear that comes with a new input gear, everything is hexed out to fit on your drive shaft the way it should. It goes through the middle of it, and if you look at it with the old one, if you see them side by side with each other, that tells me right off 21 Jump Street. Aged myself there real quick. Oh, wait a second. My name is Jeff. Anyway. So that tells me that we're rocking and rolling, that this new piece is gonna fit in there the way it should. I can get rid of the old input gear. I can get rid of the center diff, the rear diff, and I can put into my collection of random pieces that I've acquired over the years, or like weeks. I can go ahead and take these brand new acquired pieces and I can drop them. Well, not really new, somewhat new. It's not damaged and the car is new-ish. So, and actually the input gear that I cannot use. And I'll keep those together, so like that. And wait a tick, because the new one that you buy, the new spur gear and input gear comes with one bearing, but the stock uses two of them, so guess what that means? One of these bearings gets saved. If you give me 1 second, I gotta go let my dog in. You wanna see him?
Let's see that old puppy dog. Him, my puppy dog. Look at that good, sweet old little boy.
Not over there. Come on, because mommy's upstairs sleeping. Go that way. Go play that way. Alrighty, well that was fun. That's my dog. So, what I didn't do, and I could have done, but I'm very adamant on this, clean these guys out. These casings, a little bit of grease and stuff like that between the gears, and some of the oil that may come out, and some of the shredded materials, whether it's composite or whatever your gear's made of, starts to get caked up in there and really nasty. So I like to always come at these projects with a little set of tools out in front of me, especially cleaning tools. So I have like a nice 1-inch brush, then I have another smaller kind of little weird guy. I can't imagine ever trying to paint anything with this, because now that I've used it so much as a cleaning tool. But I have 2 brushes and a small little baby brush, and then a dental pick. Alrighty. This sucks. Now I feel comfortable and confident with it in there. Our new diff sits perfectly in there, because I gotta put the drive shaft back in. We're here, we're in there like swimwear. We got our 2 bearings where they need to be. I could give this a little rotate. That tells me that we are where we need to be. Let's get this diff in here. The gear, the actual part of the diff that catches your input gear, is aiming to the left. You are looking at it from the front. Good deal. Just getting a feel of what it feels like. Now, I'm a firm believer in getting some lube on those gears. Anytime metal's touching metal, especially in high gears like this, I always go ahead and get some lube. What I like to do is put some of this, our super lube. Wow. Put some of that super lube silicone grease right on top of that gear, and then just kind of give it a roll and roll that grease between the gears. That sounds so good now. Alrighty, let's start throwing this thing back together. Start with this top cover. We want to hold that diff down, because as we start to work on it, anything we do is going to just push it out the top. When you're putting this piece back on, there's this little oval ring that's on your wheelie bar. Make sure you go ahead and pull him back, get him out of the way, so your diff case will actually be able to seat flush. Now, if you remember, we have all the screws that were the same length, about that length, the length of a fingernail. Let's hit that fast forward button. Okay, now that we got most of those screws in, we're gonna go ahead and get these arms inside, connected to the diff. Gotta make sure you put this front piece, you gotta configure him the right way. Instead of taking everything apart and breaking it down completely, I tried to take just the bare minimum apart, just so I could get to where I need to get to. All right, so let's see. That's that front plate you want to get mounted in place. I'm currently working on getting those screws inside. Right now there's 4 of them. Once you get these screws inside, that kind of holds everything in place, but then this front plate kind of just moves around freely. So you want to go ahead and get these knocked in. I'm gonna have to get this wheelie bar out the way. So it looks like it's only gonna be these 2 screws right here. There we go. Cheerio. I can get all that out the way. Now we're working with it. Now we got some prime real estate. We can get that in there. And we can get our little pin / screw in there. Let's go. No. We're so close. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. My luck, I lean it forward like that and then it falls out. Let's go ahead and zip that in there really quickly. Get the privilege of doing the other side. Lucky us. There we go. Just give it a little bit of convincing. Now I can pull down on this bumper. I can easily access that screw. Now I can reassemble this rear bumper. This is a really difficult angle. Just tightening these guys to get it back up here mounted. Okay, that is it. We are all done. Let's go ahead and throw a battery in it. I'll hold down the front, and let's hold down the rear. That sounds really good. Looks like we're done. Next thing to do is just take it back out there and go ahead and break it again, so we can do this again. I'm gonna wrap it up here. No need to do a test run or anything like that. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. Much love. See you again soon. So we can do this again.